Welcome to Naked Pixels. Short clips with advice from the Naked Texture Artist podcast, where my guests answer questions all artists struggle with. Enjoy. What kind of stage, what would those stages be that you break it down into?
I try to do the color first. I always start by the color because the color is the one that it motivates me to do the color.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
Voilà. That's the fun part, and I try to do everything like basically in one day or half a day. Yeah, first the color, then the displacement, this fine, this broad, this mid eventually. And the specular and all the layers are after.
Okay.
And I try to do the same, the one channel color in one day or less than one day. All displacement in the other day, and specular and everything the day after. To keep, like fresh eye. I look at it. Oh yeah, no, this color, no. Yeah. My main goal is quality from distance and from close-up. My main goal is that graphically, I work first from a distance. So I can see my asset in different angles from imagining in a shot it will be that far. And I want to recognize pattern, in that, like, because it gives you more dynamism. So I work in a broad way first. Okay. And I get closer and closer. And that's, I don't know. I guess with the experience, tell me if I'm wrong.
Hey, I don't have the answers. That's why I'm asking you.
You need to have first a synthetic vision of your asset. Like what it looks like from a distance, instead of going straight to the detail and kind of droning your asset under details. You know what I mean?
That's an interesting thought. I like that. I think I will try this. I have always, I don't know, because I'm sort of divided on this.
Yeah.
Should you take a little corner of your asset and do like a full test of everything, all the details, everything, one little part, and then you take all of this and you put it everywhere else on the asset? Or should you, as you say, step back, do the big strokes first, the big details, the patterns, all of this, and then work closer and closer and closer? But by doing that, don't you have to redo some of the things you've already done?
Yeah.
And so you waste a little time on that, because you have to, you're replacing the big strokes with the medium strokes, and you're replacing the medium details with the small details, and and so you're redoing the details over and over. No,
let me explain why.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just I'm a big believer that before working on details are great for close-up and everything, and to have this belief stuff. But that's the layer that you put, the patina that you put on your painting at the end. You know what I mean? Like you did this beautiful painting and you do this patina to blend everything together. That's how I see details.
Okay.
But first, you have to work on the silhouette of your asset. The silhouette, literally. To think like think broad things and how I want it to look like as a silhouette. So I have this model coming from model is awesome and everything, but if I want a little bit spike here or whatever, I will start to work on my color, and I will work on not extract like my broad displacement to make sure that I have a silhouette that work for me with a broad color, patterns, direction, something that makes the asset like look elegant, graphically pleasant.
Okay.
First.
Okay. I wanted to ask you if you had a texturing philosophy. Maybe this is part of your philosophy.
That's part of my, that's absolutely like, that's the way that I work. I need to, at first, my philosophy is like, you have to do your homework. You have to go and take the risk to because you are not wasting time. You feel like that it takes a lot of time, but you are not wasting time. And do your shopping of, so I have this as reference. I want to go to that and to take that kind of reference. So I take that. And after, like, I shop for my different tile of that I did for different concrete, whatever, even for a creature, tiles. And after, mask for all the brush strokes, maybe scratch on it. So I really take the time to actually put together my materials. That is reference and the things that I will maybe use to paint through or whatever.
Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. We have a tiny bit of housekeeping to do on the way out. If this episode has been helpful to you, why not share the podcast with your colleagues and friends? If you'd like to support the podcast, I'd appreciate if you bought me a coffee. You can do that on Ko-fi. That is spelled ko-fi.com/The Naked Texture Artist. One word. If you have suggestions, comments, or questions, I'd love to hear them. Feel free to drop me a line on thenakedtextureartist@gmail.com. That is The Naked Texture Artist written out in all one word @gmail.com. As I mentioned, having a busy day job in visual effects means my release schedule for this podcast can be a bit irregular. So if you don't want to miss out, subscribe to The Naked Texture Artist wherever you get your podcasts. Or follow the podcast on the socials, then you'll be alerted when the next episode drops. The music in this episode was Awake by Tycho. Nick Sifoni helped put the sound together, and everything else was done by me, your host, Marque Pierre Sondergaard. Speak to you soon.